All right, how we doing today, everybody? It is the Legit Vocals here, back from Gencon with the D3 team, wanting to go over Gencon. I'm really proud of how the team did this time. We had some really good success in the 3v3s as a total of having us two full teams and then having some members on two other teams. Overall, the team did very well. I think there was only one time where one of our teams didn't get prizing. We didn't top 8 with some of our people, if I remember completely. But overall, I was really happy and excited with how the team did. Going into the regional, I want to say about Thursday, I decided to make the list that I ended up did playing in this event. We'll get to that in a second. I want to give a shout out to a whole bunch of the people that ended up top 32 and everybody else who was there. All the LLC guys, all the rescue guys, all the people from the community. If you came up, you talked, you hanged out. If we got to play you in the 3v3s, or personally, we'll talk about the people I got to play in my matchups. If you got to play against us, it was really great seeing everybody and overall just having a great event. Top 32, this is one of my opponents. He did very well. Pepito, it's always great seeing you, boss. It's good seeing you top 32. We need to get you your Nats invite. Keep working for you. Terry playing Blue Slime. This is a deck that me and Ming were also looking at. This deck is very solid. We think this is pretty good. So it's good to see somebody else is still playing it. Bulgy did get his invite here. There was enough pass downs from everybody, including like me, Ming, and all these other people who already had our invites. So Bulgy getting his invite, it's going to be super sick seeing him at Nats of us. Ming, he's playing 100 Girlfriends. We were playing this list about 2 weeks leading up into this event. We thought this deck was actually very strong and well suited for the format. So if I didn't play the deck I did play, I probably would have joined Ming if we had extra cards to play this. I think this deck is super fun. Has a bad Shadow Army matchup, but overall, I think this deck is great. PJ, it was great seeing the rescue guys. D3 KFC, I know it doesn't say in his name, but he's one of the newest members we picked up. Besides getting an unfortunate loss in the last round, still getting top 12, coming in top 16, just fire for him. Another good showcasing of him. Him and he loves his warm and fuzzy, so it's great to see the boy doing good, and can't wait to keep seeing more results from him coming forward. Xanax, I played Xanax in the 8th round. He was the down pair. It was really great to play against him. He's really good Sakamoto pilots. Overall, we did get deck checked before that round, so we had to shuffle a whole bunch. But even after shuffling, he saw some really good lines. I saw some really good lines. I think this is one of the better matches I had of the day. Jane, sadly, I didn't get to play her, and I don't think anybody in D3 played her. But overall, she's having a good showing, so it's good to see she gets her invite now. Damien, shout out to Damien. Tuesday, I went down to Indiana early. I stayed with Ron. If you guys know him, he's one of the mods in the Unirina collective community Facebook groups. He had an Airbnb Tuesday. My Airbnb didn't open until Wednesday. So Tuesday, I came over. We played. Overall, got some good games in. And we ended up in this spot where I think in my playtesting between Damien and just everybody, Wobble, Ron, everybody that was at the Airbnb, Brad, I got some really good games in, so it's really good to see him get here. Sadly, he was paired into KFC, so this could have been swapped. KFC could have been 7th, Damien could have been here. But overall, I'm happy for both these players. I think it would have been a good mirror match to see how it comes out. Then we have D3 Tan. He took a loss to Hank in one of the rounds. Hank's up here. I think he said it himself. I think he had lethal one of the lines, but he just missed it. So I think he could have been top 4 with me, or he would have been the one that bubbled me out. Then I got 5th. I did lose in the 9th round to Spencer. So it was either me or Spencer was getting first, but I lost and it bubbled me all the way to 5th. But the 4 players ahead of me, I'm perfectly fine. These are all good players. I'm happy all of them are up here. Rescue, Fabio, and Wong. Both of these guys have worked very hard and been at multiple events. Most of the time I get to play against Wong, which is kind of funny. I didn't get to play him this time. But both of these players are very good. I really like both their lists, which we'll maybe do a video on it another day if we feel like it. Because everybody else is doing a list on top 4. So they're getting all the attention they need right now. And it's well deserved. I think these guys are some of the better players in all of UA, especially Fabio. I'm waiting for Fabio to get his win. Happy with how they did Hank. Hank is also a good player. It's good to see him also get his invite along with Jane. I really wish I got to play this matchup. I think I'm really suited into it. BP minusing the raid down to 0, so he gets no free play. Kenpachi raids, which we'll get to like, I call it Kenpachi, but one of the Asuka raids that they just can't remove. And then shout out to Spencer. Spencer getting first place with Shadow Army again, showing it is a very consistent deck and it is defensive how he likes to play it. I am thankful for my games with Spencer. His life was very strong comparative to mine. I did have a crazy turn where I kind of dumped my whole hand out to push Spencer down to 3 life. So I had Spencer on 3 life, and I was hoping with my 7 life, I would get some kind of advantage. Spencer had, I think if I remember right, it was sight, something. I can't remember the 3rd life. The 3rd life, I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but the 4th life on the final swing was a color trigger, bringing back one of the bodies I just killed. So he got 2 doublers out of life, and then he got a body back on his board. And when we go into like mine, I had 5 no triggers, which we'll talk about when we go over my deck list. So this is the deck list I decided to play. I was really on like a Willy stick for the last couple of weeks. I really wanted to play it again. I really like the Willy deck. But I was just missing stuff. Not having the Searcher really has hurt this deck. And I wanted card draw. So like Ava 13, I was like, oh, Lilith, like we could tuck cards face down underneath. And then we can like remove them to draw, because if Mari like tucks underneath, I could use the Ava 13 to remove it and draw some cards. But I was like, that kills like my power advantage. I didn't want to do that, so I just defaulted back to playing a Gaius build. And this is just, overall, it's just like one of the best cards ever fucking printed. I apologize for my language. It is 7 drop 5k, it is draw a card, play a body. And then when we need to put Willies in our trash so that we can fuel our triple attacker, we just start popping other Willies, drawing, playing other bodies. It's just so good. This is what I refer to as the Kenpachi raid. It's because like if you look at the Kenpachi from Green Bleach, whenever it would die, you just derate it. It's kind of the same thing, but we don't have to discard a card. It's even better. So when this character be sideline, you may place the top rated card in the sideline instead. So this paired alongside Gaius is activate Gaius, pop this, draw a card, play a body. But popping this just deraids it. And then so we don't go body neutral, we go body positive. We don't lose a body on our board. Sadly, I did not get to play any Gaius against Spencer in the finals. I was struggling to get another doubler and just couldn't get to I couldn't find a Gaius. But the reason why I like this list is we do play a lot of doublers, so I'm not worried about having a whole bunch of energy. Like, I don't need to have 7. I just play like a little guy game plan, kind of chip my opponent down, and then just close out with like any of my Asuka raids, Mari raids, or Gaius. So this is different than like most lists you see me play, where I'm on like 10 or 11 zeros and then like some ratios of like 1s and 2s. I wanted to guarantee I could start the game, plus I wanted more Willy targets. So I am on 12 zeros for Shinji, draw trash, which most of the time are discarding a Willy for us. Asuka's, because they're raid targets, also get triggers. And then Mari's. So instead of Masato's, I am playing Asuka's in the 0 slot because I am not playing Wonder raids here. In the 1-drop slot, I am only playing 2 1-drops. It is a draw trigger, but it is also a body that I can play off of color trigger for impact negate when we're playing against like Yellow Sakamoto, with all the impact that can be lingering after the fact, against Shadow Army. If I don't clear the 5k, I can just put this up there to block that. Kind of like Saito as well. If I don't answer the impactors, this is just an impact negate I can have on my board. 4 Shinji doublers, because this just helps us curve out beyond 4 on turn 2. 2 starter deck Asukas. This card is probably one of my favorite cards ever created. When you raid on it, you either draw a card or you minus the character. You get to kind of pick how you want to do it. But overall, like, this enables some lines with the other raids when we get there. Masato's. So if you know me, I hate cutting doublers, because I feel like if you cut a doubler, you're always going to be missing one. So we are playing 16, so 4, 8, 12, and 16. This is just another thing to cycle our hand, plus it is another active trigger, so we can be more aggressive, like pushing up our little guys, because they will end up just blocking for us. 4 color trigger Mari. This is just a card draw engine that also kind of makes your opponent respect blocking like little guys early on. Like I go, hey, like trade your 2K for my 2K, or I draw a card because I kind of dump my hand. So it's kind of like making things a force block because your opponent doesn't want you to get advantage. And when you're in a deck that gets to like abuse advantage, your opponent really doesn't want to give you that. 2 of each Asuka raid. So this one is when it would die, you can just take the top card off. But when played, it also minuses 1K. So when you pair it with this starter deck Asuka, you get to minus 2K something or minus 1K and draw a card. Which then, if you pair with Gaius, you drew a card, you pop, you draw another card. So you just kind of like make a little value engine. And overall, I really like it. If you're playing against yellow Sakamoto, that's playing like that 2K color trigger Sakamoto, that's like, hey, you can't target anything, I can just raid this on this, minus 2K, get rid of it. Or I can raid this on any of the Asukas, minus 1K, and then activate Mari, getting rid of it, making the Mari bigger. It's just a very good enabler. 4-drop. The other Asuka raid, this is our triple attacker. If you have 2 things with less than BP, then they're base BP, it gains double attack. And at the end of its attack, it's technically a triple attack. So this really helps closing out games. It helped me in like one of my matchups where I was able to put 2 of these on the board, and I had 5 swings between 2 bodies. I had one Asuka that survived the previous turn that still had a card underneath it, and then I raided a new one. So this one had 3 attacks, and then the other one had 2. So like between 2 bodies having 5 attacks is just so strong. And I think like most people aren't ready for that type of pressure that this deck can provide. 4 of the double or null impact Shinji. This is just a 4K that you spit out and just kind of go for it. Then we have the Mari. This is our tried and true. If you know me from LCQ, I've played this raid every day. I've played Spear. Just having a draw 2 trash one that also can just minus. So like in the 5K matchups, I can make their 5K a 4K, and they can't block my 4Ks as easily. And then 4 Gaius, arguably probably one of the best raids ever created, if not the best raid ever created, currently in Union Arena. 3 finals, 3 of the minus special, and 1 of the kill a 5K / draw trash special. I am still playing this special because it is just, if I needed to get rid of a 5K and I don't have like all the BP minusing and I just have a whole bunch of little guys, I'll just rip it, get rid of their big guy, and then I can made a hole and I can just go through and poke for at least 1 more damage. Overall, I'm very happy of how this list performed. Just having Gaius be able to like pop this, go body positive, or like having this plus this 2-drop plus a Gaius makes this live by itself. Like you don't need the Mari raid. You go raid this 4-drop on top of this 2-drop. Go minus 1K on 2 bodies. Use Gaius. Pop this. Draw a card. Spit a 4th body out. Now raid this. Gain the double attack, and then if they had like a 2K, you activate this and you minus 1K, killing that body. Now you have a triple attacker alive, you killed a body, and you developed another body without losing a body on your board. Like overall, like the lines that Gaius gave Willie to do with like popping this body, I've been very happy with, and I had some very crazy turns. And I know during, I think the 7th and 8th round, I had people like looking at what I was doing on my board and going, what is he doing? The easiest way for me to describe it was I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In Union Arena. The amount of cards I'm drawing, the amount of actions I'm doing is just not fair in a regular sense. Between like Masato's drawing you cards, Mari drawing you cards, Spear popping and drawing cards, this getting raid on this, minusing the board into triple attackers, into this, draw trashing. It was so much that you're allowed to do, and it kind of felt like I was playing old Gaius, but not as strong. And overall, I'm still happy with how the deck came through. I will talk about my matchups and how my opponents placed. So round 1, I played against a yellow Nikkei player. I went second because I lost the dice roll. My opponent did brick. He had a hand that wasn't playable, molded into a hand that wasn't playable again. Had like 1-0. I think he needed 1 more 0 and he was online. That was Richard V. He came 136. He still almost came top 128. So seeing yellow Nikkei still getting played to this day, very cool. Second place, I played against a yellow Ava. I went second. I lost the dice roll. It was Joshua. He ended up coming 53rd. He played really well. Congrats on your top 64. It was really great to see you and play you. I think if you just had like a 1 more final, I think that's what we were talking about, if I remember correctly. If you had another final, like I think this totally would have swung in his favor. Round 3, I played against a red Chihiro. I went first. I lost the dice roll. I think he wanted second because he just wanted more cards and he wants to like answer my turn 3. But he ended up flooding the board one turn, walking into a special in life into my turn, which had special in hand plus Mario plus triple attacker. So I just got to like destroy his whole board after he walked into a special. But overall, he still got 98th. Which congrats to you, Nathan. You still got top 128. I know it wasn't top 64 per prize card, but still top 128. Double digits is still better than triple digits. Round 4, we played against a red Ava. I went first because I won the dice roll. He had... I would have to pull up his placing. I didn't have it written down. We had a weird blocking sequence at the end. I kind of like minused his board. There was a way where he could have blocked. So like if his last life was final, he would have lived and saw one more turn. But he blocked in a way where he didn't set himself up for that line. And this is where like this is the game where I had 2 of these. I had one that still had a card underneath it, and I just rated one and gave it triple attack. So I had 7 swings. It was 7 swings to 2 bodies, 4 life, 4 or 3 life. It was just like, it was so far from me winning. Like anything could have happened in life, a special or something, and would have just blown me out. But because he didn't have X, Y, and Z, like I was able to just push through with the amount of attacks this deck can enable. And that really kind of got me there, which overall I am happy about the results that came from that. Round 5, Red Gencon. I won. I won the dice roll. I decided to go first. I went play a guy in the back. He went play Yahiko, play Kenshin in the front. And we made like a subtle joke to each other, like we're just going to rush each other. Next turn, I set up a 2-drop Shinji and a doubler. It was probably like another Shinji or Masato. So I just like curve out. And he like sets up 2 things in the back row. I then go to my turn 3. I do normal spear things, which draws me into like a final, a special, a Mari. I kill a Kenshin. He's on 1 body. I have 5 swings because I made a double attack. I put him down to 2 life. And I'm like, go ahead. He sits there. He realizes he doesn't really have an out because I have like a spear, a Mari. I just played one of these. Like he's in a rock and a hard place, so he just goes next. But he did end up finishing up 92nd, which congrats to that. Still top 128, still double digits. We like to see it. Round 6, I played against Yellow Ava. I went first. I won the dice roll. I played against Josh Shi. He came 91st. This is another one where like my Yellow Ava matchups I felt were like really close. I feel like if they had another extender, which I think that was Josh's thing. I don't remember which Josh it was. I had in notes like one of them. They just needed another final, and I feel like they could have extended and really put my board in a disadvantageous position for me, and I would have been really far behind. Round 7, I played Red Ava. I went first on the dice roll. We both had very strong hands. I think he had like a turn 3, 7 plus kill 2 things, and then I answered it. I put him like really low on life, and then this is where this raid came up so much because he can't just 6-drop remove it because I can just derate it. And then the next turn when he went rate a 7 again and had the whole thing, I have a free block in this. So I get to like block one of the 5Ks, and then next turn if I get a life that like I can rate on top of this and totally like block again if I want. So honestly, just having a body, it's kind of like the Fatty Sakamoto raid. Having a body that we can free block and just not lose board presence just felt so good. And overall, I'm happy with like how that card performed. He did end up finishing 32nd, so he did top 32. So congrats to that. Really great seeing you. You are a really strong player. Round 8, I played against Xanax. I went first. So I won the dice roll. We had a very good game. I think he shinned me twice, and he saw specials, Asukas, and like Maris. He just saw that like I had it, and he was like, well, I'll put the Asuka on top, and then I would just play my turn, special, remove things. Next turn he'd shin me again, see mostly the same hand, and he was just like, oh, it doesn't really matter what I pick. I think just naturally, just against Shin, if your hand is already strong, Shin's not stopping you unless they double Shin you. And then him having the yellow Sakamoto, skinny Sakamoto's D rating into like little bodies just means Mari just gets to take care of them along with the special. But overall, good game to Xanax. I had a fun match, and winning this meant we had the 9th round. It means I was going to play Hank or I was going to play Spencer. And I looked over and I saw Hank lost. So I was going to play into Shadow, which I think, in my mind, I still think I have a good matchup into it. I just think both of us had strong hands. And I think my life not helping while his life helped played a huge factor into it. Spencer, when we're talking about it, Spencer respected what my deck is capable of. And he finaled on turn 2 so he could play his special oh no, I think it was his turn. I can't remember if it was turn 2 or turn 3, but he ended up specialing early to put 2 irons on the front line. So for me to respect it, I pushed some guys, played some stuff, ripped this special to minus, so let me move this, minus 1 iron to death, make the other one a 2k, and then I activated Mari making it a 1k, so like my little 15s could have got through. So I pushed them all the way down to 3 life. Yeah, because I went push the 3 things in the back, play a guy, play a doubler, raid a Mari, or like final, because I had like double final. I had something very egregious that allowed me to like fill up my energy plus answer his board a little bit. So I poked him for 4 life. Well, his 4 life was double sight. The 3rd life, it was either another get trigger. It was a get trigger, or it was either Igris or it was another Monarchs. I know the first 2 were Monarchs domains. So I handed him 2 sights, which are doublers. And then on my 4th swing, which he decided to take instead of blocking with his iron to go to 3 life, was a color trigger, which gave him an iron back on the board. So doing that allowed all that work I did to like get rid of his bodies. He got the body back. And then now he's just playing a 7 life to 3 life. So he needs to come back. But he's playing a defensive deck. And shout out to Spencer. Like, he knows that grind game. He can play that in game where he just needs to start blocking now. He goes for his combo where he like plays a 12 cost. And me at 7 life, I go, hey, I'm just going to rip probably this first 4 life and then let you snipe impact me down to 2 unless something changes. Because I'm at a point where I don't really need to do anything. I need to just find another doubler so I can just Gaius you, and then you're at 3 life, so Gaius is just kind of clear. My life, and this is where I think the turning point was. First life, 2-drop Shinji. Second life, 2-drop Shinji. Third life, 2-drop Asuka. Fourth life, final. Last life, 5th life, Shinji. So 5 of my 7 life were no triggers. When I play 4, 5, 6, plus 3 of these, that is 9. So 5 out of 9 were cards that don't go to my hand, don't infect my board, don't do anything. So 5 of 7 were no triggers, because I literally wrote this down the second after I lost this match, because I was like, yo, that's crazy. My last 2 life was a draw trigger followed by a color trigger 7th life, which those don't matter. In the sequence we were in, I needed the color trigger first, because then I could have played the impact negate to block the big Jinwoo that was going to swing, and then would have been fine. I could have went for next turn, try to like push, because I did get him down to 2 life, but it did not happen. So I wish I could have put up more of a fight for Spencer, but having his life being doublers and a color trigger, and my life being 5 of my no triggers, was just detrimental, and like that's just a life diff at the end of the day. But that's Union Arena, that's the game we play, because like I said, we're on 9 in total, where if we look at like Spencer's build, I think he has way less no triggers. So we're at 2, 5, this, he's at 8. So the difference is I have 1 more card that would give me no value, and he has, so he's 8 to my 9. And that's just the difference. He had doublers that were get triggers, and he had a color trigger where I had my no triggers. So quite literally, like, it was just a big life diff, which sadly hurts for me. My resistance was not as good as his. He could have lost, and I'm pretty sure he would have got second, where I lost and I got all the way to 5th. I got no playmat. I just didn't bubble up. But overall, I'm still happy with how this deck did. I like to show, like, if you look at it, I'm the only Gaius in top 32. Same with Ming being the only Green Hunter girlfriends in top 32. And then I think Entity is the only Red Chihiro. Yeah. Like, there's 3 people who played, like, unique lists in top 32. Me, my teammates, and then LOC, which I think that's a thing in all of its own. It's like we're playing decks that can fight the meta, and we want to push people to be like, hey, if you think you're good enough on a deck, or if you think you've teched it well enough for the meta, play it. Ming thought his deck list was very solid. He literally plays no double gens because he just wanted to push people down. This card's egregious by drawing cards equal to your opponent's hand. I think like the biggest one he got at Gencon was draw 6 because his opponent had 6 more cards in hand than him. It was very strong. If you look at like my build, it was so funny. Half of my games, people were like, oh, it's Willie, because I would start with like this opener. Then turn 2, I'd play like a 2-drop Shinji and like a Shinji, and they'd be like, it's Gaius. But like having both packages forces my opponent to respect both halves of the engine. Because if they just try to rush me down by Gaius and they put a whole bunch of little guys up front, well then the Willy package just clears the board and I get to push extra damage. If they try to play the long game because they see Willy, then I just have a better long game because I have Gaius. So overall, I'm very happy with how the deck did. I will not be going to Toronto for the Canada event, but I plan on being at Milwaukee and DC. If you guys have any decks that you think is really well suited in the meta, put them in the description. Let's talk about it, or message me on Discord. Overall, if you have questions about the deck in general, let me know. Overall, I'm very happy with how this did, and I don't think going into it, I don't think I'd change anything. If I was to change something, I would probably cut one of the Masato double gens, and I'd play like the 2-drop Asuka that is discard a Willy, give -1k to something. That's all I'd really change, which it was in consideration, but overall I like where the list came together. But alright guys, that's Legit Vocals here. Until next time, I hope to see you guys at a future event.